opinions be told. Wrexham forever, through thick and thin. It's WREXtra time, let the calls begin.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It is WREXtra time, and we have just had a banger match of the season. Absolutely guaranteed. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Nearly had a couple of heart attacks, but there we go. So, welcome to WREXtra time, everybody. Thanks for hanging on in there while I got myself organized in the background. So this show is about you guys, and I would love to see 10 of you in here today, loads of people. So I'm going to grab the link and I'm going to put it out there because I think we have a lot of positive things to talk about today. Let's celebrate the boys. Let's celebrate this win. Let's celebrate being in the playoffs again after taking out the number 3 team currently in the league. So here we go. Link in the chat. Come and join. Okay, now things didn't always look like they were going to go our way, but they did go our way. Let's have a look at this one. So 5-3 Wrexham versus Ipswich Town at home today. We were winning with Moore at 6 minutes. We were drawing after Mehdi scored at 19. We were winning after Windass scored at 37 minutes. And then we were drawing again just before halftime when Ozan scored at 45 plus 3. Then after the break, they came out firing. Kipre scored at 47 minutes, so we were losing. Then we were drawing with Thomason at 66 minutes. We were winning with Doyle at 75 minutes. And then again, we were still winning at 86 minutes. And we saw it out to the end just about, and took out a 5-3 win against a team that may very well get auto-promoted by the end of this season. Now, guys, link is out there. Who is going to be the first one to join me tonight? While we are waiting, I'm going to go through the other matches that happened, because you know what? Only Birmingham have a bad result tonight. Everybody else, I think, pretty much decided to help us out as well in the table. So we have Blackburn Rovers took out a win versus Preston North End with a 1-0. Portsmouth took out Millwall with a 3-1 away win. What on earth were they on going into that match? Portsmouth do not win away. Their form is absolutely horrendous. What happened to Millwall? I don't know. I don't really care. Millwall ended up with a big fat nothing. Birmingham came out firing, got up 2-0. Norwich came back with 1 goal. Not sure exactly how worried Birmingham were there about the draw, but they took the 3 points. And as we'll see very soon, they are right behind us. They are chasing us. So will this season be another doco-drama with Birmingham for the end of this season and trying to secure playoff spots? Can we both get into the playoffs? Can we end up with a playoff final match, God forbid? Let's see how that one turns out. Southampton then only managed a draw versus Charlton Athletic. Poor result for them with a draw at home to Charlton, but good for us. Watford came out and scored 2-0 versus Derby. And that pulls Derby back to us. It also pushes Watford a little bit closer to us, but we won. So same gap. The preferred result, though, we want to pull Derby back. We want to get ahead of them. Of course, our result is there 5-3. Hull lost 3-1 to QPR, and QPR have been completely out of fashion at the moment. They're not getting points from anywhere very much at the moment, but they pulled it off, took out Hull City, who are doing really well. Stoke City had a draw with Leicester City, so only 1 point for them. Swansea City took out Bristol, so Bristol get to fall back with nothing. West Bromwich Albion then had a loss to Coventry City, 2-0 for Coventry at an away match. Good result for them, of course. They are chasing to remain the league leaders for the end of the season. And then Middlesbrough could not score on Oxford United, and that ended up a 0-0 draw. What a set of good results, huh? Only our pals Birmingham decided to mess it up first, but it's okay. We'll take them out later. Sean is in the house. I haven't seen all your comments, but I'll have a look now in a moment. Everybody is chatting in the chat, and we are pointing in the points, but nobody has come and joined me yet, so I'm just going to keep talking. Come on, guys. The link is out there. I'm going to throw it out there again. Let's make it a big one tonight. Surely everybody's happy and wants to chat about this, huh? This is a match you want to celebrate, the boys. Certainly. Now, I do have some more stats here in the background, but before I hit them up, I'm going to have a quick look in the chat. Say hello to everybody while we wait for our first guest. We have Alex. What a game. Absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. Free Ski Guru. The table all went Wrexham's way with the exception of Birmingham. I've just gone through that. Absolutely a fantastic weekend of points for us and for not our opponents. Okay, Alex. He's on a plane, so he can't join, but he will listen. Alex and a Rose. Okay. First up comment of the match. Viner looked good in the CDM position, looked active, and towards the end of the match was calling out strategy and moved the line up. So yeah, we can chat about that because that is an absolute positive. Guys, I am going to pretty much just ignore the negative tonight because this was too good a match. Let's just celebrate the great win. Habs is in the house with a mad match. DH 7002, great win. Davicus, what's he say? That was a most enjoyable game. Would hate to be the Ipswich players around Rathbone and O'Brien. Unrelenting hamsters attacks. They did play really well. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was fun to see. It absolutely was. Root. What a win. What a match. Esteban, not Esteban. What the hell is this song? You have surely heard that song before. We play it in front of every WREXtra time. It is the best song of all the intros we have on the local pundit by a mile. And I like them all, but let nobody out there criticize and say that that is not the best intro that we have. And you know what? If I don't have some guests soon, I might just play it again. So, guys, if you don't think it's the best intro, then go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm just curious. Does anybody disagree with me that there's a better intro song on the local pundit channel? Okay, lots and lots of chats. So I'm going to start skipping a few. Now, Free Ski Guru again. This is a season-defining match right there. What a win. It might very well be. If that puts us into a nice run of matches, absolutely, this could be the start of a big run into the playoffs. Next up is Portsmouth. They won tonight, but they're generally not very good on the road. So I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them on the next one. Okay. Man of the match. Who do you think is man of the match? Because it's a bit of a crazy match now. Everybody has options out there. But Thomason, man of the match for JD. And very shortly, I will bring up the stats because I think the stats are quite fun. Free pugs, what a finish. Sean in the house. Guest from another team. You know, we allow guests here as long as you're not a complete asshole. And Sean makes a couple of comments that annoy me from time to time, but that's because he's not a Wrexham fan, but he's welcome here. I can put up with a few comments I don't like. He's not mean about them. So what's he saying tonight? We have Millwall next. Could end up with both of us in the playoffs. Ooh, now that's a nice shout. I don't mind Birmingham being in the playoffs as long as we are also in the playoffs. Let me put that out there. I am a big fan of doco drama just for the hell of it because it annoys the hell out of everybody else. But absolutely, I want to see Birmingham in there with us. That could be fun. Although I wouldn't be too impressed if we got knocked out by Birmingham in the playoffs. But anyway, moving on. I said I'm remaining positive. Okay, John Olsen. And we are only 5 points out of the autos. Now, I'm going to have to pull that up shortly. There's a lot of caveats with that. Only 5 points out of the autos, I got to say. Have we got our first guess? Ooh, we do. Okay. Next up, Sean. I was more worried about the Norwich game than the Millwall one. Ooh, that's some positivity. Millwall up next for you guys. Okay. Let's see. Good night, TLP, Esteban. Norwich with 10 shots on goal. Were they better? I will pull up some more stats. We'll have a look at a couple of more stats and then maybe we'll talk about that. Kelly Davidson with a big super chat. Look at this, $25. Amazing, Kelly. Thank you for supporting the channel at that sort of level. So comment, I still love Dobson and AO, but I also love Paddy's critical analysis. Thank you, Kelly. I like that. Thank you for sharing your opinions, but never pointing to the camera and declaring that everyone watching should feel the same as you. I'm done with that. Okay. No, I don't care if people disagree with me. As long as you're happy to understand that occasionally I'm going to tell you you're wrong because I have an opinion too. And you can tell me I'm wrong and that's all cool. But I love Kelly. We get on great and have some nice chats in the Discord. So that's a nice segue. Look how I did that. Guys, I'm going to put out the Discord chat and come join it if you're not in it. We do have some great chats as I look to the side and try and figure out where it is. Invite, copy, and into the chat. Okay, link to Discord. Boom, in the chat. If you're not in the Discord, get in the chat. Right. Come on, guys. I want more people in tonight. How on earth do we not have a queue of 4 or 5 people already? Yeah? Okay, Sean is going to tell us about the Birmingham match for 2 minutes. I'll allow it. We dominated the first half and sat back in the second half. They had chances, but they held on. Cool. Okay. Free Pugs, our second 5-3 win this season. Yeah, so that other one would have been Sheffield United, which was a banger of a match too. Although I must say this one felt a lot tougher than that Sheffield United one. This is a good shout that I didn't immediately realize. We played Ipswich 3 times and they won none. 1 draw and 2 wins versus the Tractor Boys this season. And you know what? There is a chance we might be playing them again in the playoffs. And there's a chance we might be playing them twice in the playoffs. So who would like to play Ipswich another 2 times before the end of the season, huh? Okay. Lots of chats flying through it. Esteban. Ah, okay, here we go. Esteban finally responded to my comment. Paddy, to be fair, I usually come in a bit late. That's fair enough, because you know what? I don't know exactly when people come in. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, okay. What do you think of the promo song? I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Oh, look. Paul Aldrich, 9960, being nice in the chat. Paddy, congratulations, mate. Great win. Like I said a few weeks ago, Wrexham are going to take the piss, and you will get one of the 2 top spots by the end of the season. Put that in your documentary, eh? Oh, I wish that would be fun. Okay. Okay, I can never instantly say your name. I do know how to say it. Dan Tatua, but it just doesn't instantly hit me. Okay, how many monitors do I have? I have this one down below. I have my camera here. I have one up above, and I have one to my left over here. So I have 3 cameras. I do need to move my desk. I do need to play around with things, and maybe my camera will be in a better position to stop my eyeline flying all over the place while I'm messing about with my different monitors. Okay, Super Champ Love, but Birmingham is still on our ass. Well, you know what? Might as well be Birmingham, because somebody's going to be on our ass for a while, unless we hit a nice, amazing run of form. I don't think we're going to be safe all the way to the end of the season. I hope we can be safe. I would love to be 6 points away from the others outside the playoffs by the time we hit those last 2 matches, just to stop me having a heart attack. But I do believe we can pull some points from those final 2 matches, Middlesbrough and Coventry in the final 2. Okay, I'm going to put this out because you did this to me the other week, and you almost got me. I nearly flipped. It was actually bugging the crap out of me. Maybe I just wasn't in a great mood. But Habs has been patiently sitting in the back, and you know what? I was hoping someone else would come in first, just for a change. No shade at Habs, but here we go. Habs, welcome.
Yo, it's Interpol's Most Wanted.
Hello. I didn't actually send you a message in the background. I was thinking I should do it, but then I just left you sit there. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I've just become a regular on the show at this point, so it would have been. I wanted someone else to come before me, so yeah.
Yeah, always good to let the other person come first, eh? Anyway, moving on from that comment. Right, I'm going to bring up some stats here. Let's have a quick look at this. Right, so look at those little red numbers. Walton got a 4.5 for Ipswich, and O'Shea got a 4. Nasty looking little numbers there, huh? Some of our guys didn't do amazing either, obviously, but I'm going to zoom in because I pulled them up here. Wrexham, there we go. What do we have? We have AO got a 5.9. He was as low as 4 point something, but that came back. Then we have Doyle with a 7.7, Hyam with a 6.9, Clewert with a 6.7. Out on the left, Thomason scoring highly with an 8.3. O'Brien in the middle with the man of the match, 8.9. With my bad eyesight, that almost looked at like 11.9. I was like, that's a bit odd. So O'Brien got himself 2 assists today. Fantastic for him. Great play. Sheaf 6.4. Kabore 6.2 out on the right. Take the comment down. Ratbone 7.3. Windass 8.4 with a goal and assist. Moore 8.3 with a goal and an assist. Couple of poor results there, but anyway, don't really care. We won the match. Thoughts on the match?
It was going to be a hard match anyway, so this was to be expected. This was, I mean, there were some poor performances today. I mean, Kabore was just almost non-existent, but also he was getting double marked. He was, but there wasn't as much like aggression that was being used from him. And at the beginning, I thought, okay, Cabora's going to do something. He's doing something really good at the beginning of it, but it didn't feel like he was just trying to. He just felt non-existent after a certain point, and they just weren't using that right as often.
Yeah, not a fantastic match for Kabore. Just briefly, seeing as you touched on it, he did seem a little bit slow at times. He seemed a bit static when he was receiving the ball. He wasn't on the move a lot. He was a little off today for me. But I did say we're going to try and stay positive, so I'm going to move quickly off that. Our defensive line obviously had some mistakes in them because we ended up with 3 goals against us. But look at this. We have, and yeah, go on.
But it is against a team like Ipswich.
It is, yeah, absolutely. That's a fair and valid point. A very strong team, going for auto promotions. They still have 2 games in hand, which is making their score look a little bit weaker. But they could absolutely be pushing in around the autos in the near future. What I was about to say there is Esteban is here. I'm going to bring him in. Esteban, hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Yo.
Welcome. Is there a bit of background noise around you there, or is that just me?
Oh,
you're good.
I was washing my hands.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, cool. So first thoughts. Then I'm going to bring up some more stats.
What's going on, guys?
Good. What's your opinion? First thoughts on the match. Something positive now.
Yeah.
Stay
So
positive.
did something good happen today?
Yeah, I like it. 5-3. And you know
No,
what? That's very
really
good
bad.
for a whole defense.
Holy shit, that was an excellent match. Just drama and frustration. I mean, they were frustrated from like 30 minutes into the game, and they were diving and just you love to see it. You love to see how frustrated the game. We were in their heads the entirety of the game, almost the entirety of the game. So that was really fun to watch.
But I think it worked for a while. I think they got under the ref. He started giving them started giving us yellow cards and started giving them a couple of fouls here and there. I think they put it in their head with these stupid falling over, pretending they were injured crap. But by the end of the match, the ref was having none of it. He was sick and tired of the carry on from Ipswich, because there was a couple of little dodgy things there that he didn't even look at.
Yeah, they overdid it for sure.
They overdid it absolutely. He was sick of it by the end of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, ref finally caught on to it. So, I mean, to be fair, a little too late. There were a couple of dodgy calls there. Around minute 60-ish, there were a couple of dodgy calls. So.
Yeah, and he was throwing out cards for maybe the wrong things as well.
Yeah, he was not shy with the cards. This fucking guy. Sorry. This guy.
Okay, actually, I did forget it, but Dave is after throwing it in there. What about the penalty? Now, that one was a clear penalty for me, the punch in the back of the head. But it also looked like the referee was actually pointing to the spot. The motion he made, whatever motion he made afterwards, it actually looked like he was pointing to the spot.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, he looked at it. He looked like he was pointing to the spot of it, but as soon as that happened, I just thought, okay, well, where's the pen? I thought a penalty was going to take place, because you could tell the goalkeeper clattered. It was Doyle, right?
Yeah.
He clattered him right in the head. Right in the back of the head as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doyle was asking for it too. No, I don't mean he was asking. I don't mean he was asking to be hit in the head. I mean he was asking for the penalty. Yeah. I mean, I guess to be fair, he was also asking for it.
Yeah. But look, this is one of those. Yeah, we'll just move on from it. We won the match. Who cares? It was just a crappy mistake. But Free Pugs has also thrown up there. I like the yellow from Dabo. Forgot what kind of football he was playing. that was backpacking. That was absolute backpacking. When you are in that situation, you don't want the guy to get away. I'm taking a yellow, and he just held on for dear life.
You know, in that show with Neil Patrick Harris, where he goes the highest of fives. Yeah, that was the most professional of
Yeah,
yellow.
the most professional fouls.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
obvious, absolutely. Yeah.
But I would say that our game plan with today was very aggressive. We did not stop.
yeah.
Our formation was very different. We switched to a 3-4-1-2, and you could tell the way Kiefer was functioning on that left. He was an animal on that
He was
left-hand side.
possessed. After spending some time out of the squad and having less minutes, he was absolutely up for it today. His goal was fantastic.
Near post tight goal.
Yeah, for all the people who say he can't run. Now, look, he's not the fastest of players, but his movement there, he got into space, and then he finished it nicely up into the netting. Excellent goal from him.
And you love to see it. You love to see how much more comfortable Parky's getting with letting them be aggressive. He was so shy about it earlier in the season, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I was beating this drum left and right that, come on, you got to get aggressive. You got to let the dogs loose. And I'm so happy that after Christmas break, after the festive period, that he's letting them be aggressive, because that it's made for some very entertaining football. And there's been a couple of matches where they've gone back to defensive form, and it's been boring. And you know, I don't recall which matches, but there's two in the last few weeks that have been just kind of like subdued. And you know, these matches where they've been let loose on the ball, they have been so much more entertaining, and we've gotten better results. And you know, so yeah.
One thing is, like, you look at how we played tonight against a very strong team. I don't think there's many teams in the championship that could stand up to that sort of aggression. If we did that, especially against the bottom half of the league, and sometimes we go out there and we're too slow and too passive. Since we have gone with a three up front, and every time we go attacking, we look strong, and we will occasionally get beaten. We'll get caught on counters, fine, but we have looked like we are a real danger. And I wish we could see that against some of the weaker teams and just smash them a comfortable 3-0.
I think that's where we did Hardy a little bit dirty, to be fair. I think that Hardy and Smith could have been an answer. I guess they didn't have he didn't trust that because we didn't have strong backline like we do now. So you know, I see that now, but I really wanted that earlier in the season.
Yeah, one thing I will say, let me bring it back up again here. O'Brien, again, 8.9. 2 assists from playing deeper. That was the one thing I really liked about his play today, is he was playing from much deeper. He was still doing his intercepts. He was doing some lovely football around other players. But he wasn't getting caught right up the front in attacking himself. He was getting into positions where he was assisting others, which is where he should be.
He was a constant threat. I mean, think about it like this.
Yeah,
he was
absolutely.
whenever he got the turnovers, he was running forward. Either he was passing it to the right places, either on the left or the right, or he was just going to run to the other end, and everyone just followed in. And if he doesn't do that, he'll pass to someone, and he goes further forward. And then everyone's just like, okay, we've got to get this further forward every time. And it was extremely aggressive. It was like a very aggressive centre mid. So,
Hey, Paddy, can you put that comment back up?
Which one?
For a moment, the Kool-Aid one.
Okay, so you're reading the comments again. Did I not talk to you about
No, I'm not reading the comments. I'm reading
I'm joking.
I'm reading the one that you had on the screen.
Yeah, hang on. It's too far back now. I can't find it for a second. Anyway,
That's
what's your
okay.
comment about it?
What my comment on it is that I think it's the other way around. Honestly, I don't think that the team has started to drink Parky's Kool-Aid. I think Parky has started to believe in the team. I think that Parky has finally let up on his all defense strategy, and he started to believe that we can be an attacking team. And again, I think that should have been done earlier in the season, and I think that we could have taken advantage of a couple of the guys that are now on loan, But hey, it is what it is. I'm not complaining about where we are, but I think we could have been here earlier in the season.
That's a very interesting point, because it could have gone badly wrong. This sort of heavy attack. If we didn't get it right, or if they slipped through us early and got some early goals, they could have absolutely done massive damage to us. And this is one of the things about going for that sort of attacking nature. You have to be willing to take a really poor match where it just doesn't work, where every little misplaced pass gets a goal against you. And it could be anybody, it could be any of the championship teams. But I absolutely would take that for the type of attacking play that we have shown we can do. It is really enjoyable. It's really entertaining, and it actually really looks like it could work against almost anybody.
Did you see how fast our passing was today? It was extremely quick. It was much more crisp, and it was much faster.
Yeah, they drilled that this week, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They must have. He must have decided to push it a bit different after the cup. A different look, different forwards, changed it up a little bit, but pushed him to move.
One thing I would think is that I was thinking that because we were going up against a different squad when we faced them in the FA Cup, I was thinking, okay, this is what we predicted. Basically, I predicted this. Pretty much everyone predicted this, and they're going to focus on the league, so they get up on the cup. And I was like, okay, I was saying it. Everyone was saying it. The team that we're going to go up against, the squad that we're going to go up against on Saturday, is going to be completely different, which was the case. And it was a much stronger squad. It was a much stronger squad, and you could tell it was a much stronger squad as well. But this isn't the same Wrexham that they faced in the first half of the season. And we were far more aggressive, and they kind of folded in many ways. And we came back with a lot of we just kept coming back. We lost some control when they got the third goal in the second half, but we somehow managed to get back composure, and the aggression just started coming straight back.
Yeah, agreed, absolutely. Bruce makes a nice comment here to the conversation. The other side of that is that development occurs over this season. He may have been holding back until the connections were working in the training paddock. So that's an interesting point. Obviously, people, back to the old gelling, how well are they working, and how is the interplay between the players happening? That could be a very good point. I kind of agree with that. Also, Matt Al is just back, drowned after being at the match, but he has an interesting comment here. Kind of comes on to what was mentioned previously. The team just aren't passing to Isa. He's making good runs, and they're not seen. Is he the player we want going forward? Still only 4 career goals. Very briefly, I'll touch on this. I won't stay on it too long. But see if you agree with me on this. We're basically using him as a feint on the right-hand side. He goes running, players go to block him, and we look like we can pass up to his channel, and we just go a different direction. I've been speaking about this. If he can't get through them because they're double blocking him, well, then maybe we have to actually start going around through the center when they're doing that, because they're pulled out of shape. But I mentioned this a couple of weeks back that it looks like the players are not passing to him, but I don't think it's a particular negative thing that they're kind of avoiding him. or have decided he's not good enough in the position or what have you. But what's your quick take on it? And Paul, I see you in the background there. 2 seconds. I'll pull you in.
I think, we've developed the left side of our attack. That side of attack vector is extremely well developed. We can keep going through and through every time on the left. And everything seems to struggle with us going on the left. But when we go onto the right, there seems to be this kind of, I don't know, there seems to be this kind of, well, even with Longman, when he comes on, there still seems to be this kind of weird, that they seem to open space for Longman, but never for Cae. But when we do go on the right, it's very blocked off, it is. And so we have to pass back to the centre every time, or go back.
But interestingly, Longman almost got in quite a few significant crosses, which Cae wasn't really able to do very much. And this is the same thing. Now, whether they just actively give him the space or not is a bit different, because they're certainly not closing him down the same way they do Cae.
That's one thing I noticed. They do give Longman a lot of space.
Mm.
They give him so much more space, they do. But they don't seem to do that with Cae, because I think they just treat him with just so much as a threat, they do. I think everyone just treats him too much of a threat, because they know if he gets the ball, even for a split second, and if they give him any kind of space, he will just run past them.
But yet he hasn't, do they fear him that much? He hasn't done very much. Although he's quick, yes. Do we truly believe all these teams are scared of him? It seems like they are, because they double team him all the time. So
it's hard to say. I mean, because every time he's done that, he always has to pass back or goes to the centre.
Yeah.
Okay, couple of things.
Yeah, Esteban, I'll give it to you. I'm just going to bring in Paul first, and then I'll throw it back to you to answer the question, okay? Paul, hello. Welcome. You there?
Hello, Paul.
Yeah, Esteban, I'll give it to you. I'm just going to bring in Paul first, and then I'll throw it back to you to answer the question. Paul, you need to switch off the YouTube in the background, because it's behind. It's behind a couple of seconds. You need to listen on your phone or computer.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're listening to YouTube, which is delayed. You need to listen through your phone or computer.
There you go.
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead, say hi. Can you hear us, Paul?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Satisfaction, he asked me to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in. Say hi.
What is wrong with this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had a good game today, to be fair.
Yeah, great match. 5-3, second time this season.
I mean, when it was 2-2.
Signal seems to be coming through a bit slow, Paul. It's not great.
Signal's going, Paddy.
Yeah, it's not.
Paddy,
it's not
I'll
great.
try again in a minute, mate.
Okay, no problem. Jump back in a few minutes, and I'll pull you back in.
Try it without the video on.
Yeah, you can leave the video off if that might help. Sometimes it's a bit faster. Okay. Esteban, if you want to make your thoughts there, we were talking about Cae, and then I'll bring Paul back in a few minutes.
Yeah, listen. I've said this before, and I'm nothing if I don't beat a dead horse. But I really feel that Cae should have stayed behind from AFCON, and I think that there's something happened, something really magical happened with the team around the festive period, where they I guess gelled. I hate that word. But there's something that happened where they learned to really trust one another. The team did, and I think Cae missed out on that. And I think to a certain extent they don't fully trust them. Now, having said all that, I really do love the way that he eggs on the crowd.
Mm,
I think
yeah.
that's one of my favorite things about him. And I think it's gotten better in the last couple of matches, especially after he's become the regular starter. But yeah, I think that connection with him is still a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
I like the way that he plays with Rathbone, but Rathbone, I think also, and I hate to say this, I think he serves best as a super sub rather than a starter.
Starting.
I think that he gets lost in the sauce a little bit as a starter.
Okay.
So
Cool. Let's bring Paul back in and see if things are better. Oh, he disappears just as I connect him. Okay. He'll come back
one
in a
more
minute.
thing,
Go on.
Habs. When I think of Habs coming in, I think the Phantom Pundit. That's what I think.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm a ghost.
Okay, so let's just have a quick look at some stats here. Why not while we're waiting? Right. So that graph is cool. I love this. A nice even 50-50 momentum graph with 5 goals spaced up on top and 3 down the bottom. That looked lovely. Right, then we have ball possession 49-51%, expected goals, and this is why XG is such trash nonsense. Look at this, 2.09 for us, and we scored 5, and 0.81 for them, and they scored 3. Like, what on earth are you doing with your figures to get those sort of?
How's it even calculated?
Yeah, it's position and whether the average person is going to score from that position. It's all this sort of nonsense. I like my stats. Everybody knows I like my stats, but you can make stats tell you anything you want. And somebody came up with this great idea of how to quantify shots and how good they are, and how many goals you should be getting from this position. And it just does not work like that.
The guy that came up with XG is that statistician that's like on LSD in the back of the room.
Well, it doesn't matter. The guy's probably absolutely rich for a piece of dog shit work. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Right. So, what else have I got here? Have I any more stats here?
What about that beautiful
Not really.
finish by Moore? Oh, that was beautiful.
Yes, that is one of his better goals, actually, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I like about that is, for once more, traveled with the ball, got into the open space, and completely finished it himself. And as he was moving in, if you watch him, he put the head up, he looked around him, he was looking for the pass and the easy tap in on the other side of the box, but there was no one coming. So he just said, okay, I got to try and finish this, and he buried it into the net, which is fantastic, because I
It was
like
near post as well.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's showing he can finish himself, and he's a simple threat from those sort of positions. A lot of people kind of don't rate him to be able to do that, and I loved seeing it tonight.
And you gotta love Windass being so like on the spot, just knowing exactly where the ball is gonna be so that he could capitalize. Man, that was beautiful.
And you know what? Everybody looked like they were really in the mood to score tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They were completely on it and aggressive. Like, look at this. This is crazy. So 5 goals tonight, 5 different players. Moore, Windass, and Broadhead, all up the front. Thomason midfielder, and then Doyle from the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Thomason.
again, yeah.
Thomason just wanted to get back at them. Thomason was pissed off. That was a pissed off goal.
Yeah.
And Doyle, same with Doyle, honest, to be fair.
Mm.
Both of those guys, Thomason and Doyle, were just pissed off and wanted to get back at him. And Broadhead was also on the ball, like very, very attentive to where the ball was, and he just capitalized on the mistake. It was great.
Yeah, so again, like just the variety of goals and assists that are coming from around the team is fantastic. You can see it here in this little map. Obviously, Doyle and Thomason on the left. I'm really enjoying Doyle and Thomason and their interplay between each other. And now O'Brien is on that side too, which also kind of helps. But that left side at the moment is starting to look a little bit vicious. They're really working well together. I don't think Cleworth is linking as well with Kabore as previously. Previously, Kabore and Cleworth have looked fantastic together. But again, for multiple reasons, that seems to have dropped off a little bit.
I would imagine
Josh?
I would imagine it's still going to have to take time for certain players to get used to each other because it's just not
Yeah,
really.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh here says Thomason and Broadhead's goals were great. Totally forgot about Windas's goal. A little bit too early. We don't usually score that early.
Who's that Josh Anthony person?
I think it's a guy who uses black hair dye.
Is he new to the chat?
I think he uses minoxidil as well. I think he uses minoxidil and some other stuff.
That's an old school reference. That's like a season 1, season 2. A lot of people watching this show might barely have been born. Okay. Right, guys, what else to talk about? What else is positive? Lots and lots of goals. Lots and lots of fantastic play.
Women's match tomorrow.
Okay.
They're
Yes.
in a final against Cardiff. Cardiff, yeah.
Cardiff first silverware of the season available to them.
Yeah, the game is on Scorio, 5 p.m. Wrexham time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what it is. 12 noon in the East Coast. So, yeah. I think we should really we should put eyes on them. I think we should support the ladies, put eyes on them. The Red Horde does a nice watch along. The girl that does it, Deirdre, she's very animated. She's fun.
Okay. Oh, Josh, did I not say positive? Oh, wrong one. Hang on. Here we go. You have to talk about AO. It has to come up. He just comes into the chat and starts throwing grenades. I'm like, we won 5-3. Let's be positive. Let's play nice, people. No. Okay. AO. Thoughts on AO today then? Go on. Throw at it.
A little bit of butterfingers there in that first goal. But, I mean, the ball, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but it was wet conditions. The ball
It's
was
always wet. It's Wales. It's always raining.
Good point. So,
I would say the first goal was a bit more of like a mess. It was so.
Yeah.
Think about this. There was a lot of people in defence. They tried to do something to get out of the way, and the thing is, AO just got on the end of it as well to get it out. He didn't actually get to properly get his hands on it. He got on the end of it.
Oh, before we move on, by the way, it could have been 6-3 because Windass did miss the swing and a miss there at the early on in the game. So
going across the box.
That was a beautiful cross. So anyway, please continue.
Go on, Abs.
We really do have a bad habit of showing up in these matches we do. So I just don't know what it is. Right? We look so amazing here, and then we go up against Portsmouth. We're just going to lose somehow. That's what I get this feeling.
Please don't.
Oh, stop!
No, I want to win.
I of course, yeah, but I just don't even put it out there.
Yeah, I don't
want to go from this high to bloody lose. You know what? We've already drawn with them in a shit match this season. Now, it's not like us to actually not win a match versus a team at some point, be it home or away. So we're usually quite good at least getting one of the matches. So yeah, I really don't want another dog shit performance versus Portsmouth.
But we are at
and
home.
lose that much. We are at home.
We are.
Yes, we are. And they
So we
are
got the
usually
advantage.
bad away. They're usually bad away. So
Yeah. And also, let's go like this. Everything has kind of gone our way. We're back in sixth. A lot of the teams, I mean, sorry, Paul, but you guys can lost. Sorry about that.
go on.
You gave us the open goal.
Yeah, he's nice about it. He doesn't seem to mind us. He thinks he'll be in there too. Okay.
So we got Portsmouth at home on Tuesday, and then next Saturday, Charlton away.
Yeah. I'm going to pull it.
And then the FA Cup. Oh, wow.
Hang on. I'm going to pull it up. Let's have a look at the leaderboard because I haven't done the leaderboard yet. Might be nice to actually show. So now here we go. Can't really see it too well because it's not zoomed in. Let's zoom it in a little bit. That's better. Right, so Coventry City won today. They're on 65 points.
Yeah, but no one cares about them.
I know. I'm going to go through it quickly. Go on. Middlesbrough second, 62 points. Millwall lost today, 56 points. Ipswich with 2 games in hand, 54 points. Hull only 1 game in hand, 54 points. And then us in 6th with 51 points.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
3 points away from Hull.
Yeah. Only 3 points away from Hull, but they do have a game in hand. So depending on what they do with that, they have now gotten 1 point in the last 3, as you can see there. 1 draw and 2 losses in a row. Birmingham is on a little bit of a tear. They haven't lost in a long time. 8 matches or something. Is it that many now? But in the last 5, 1, 3 and drawn 2. So they're on a bit of a tear. Derby hit and miss. 2 losses, 2 wins and a draw in the last 5. And then everybody else is pretty hit and miss, except Southampton. Southampton are on a bit of a tear up, but had to draw today. So 3 wins and 2 draws. So it's there for the taking. You know, we absolutely can get into this playoff and see what happens there. Millwall just need to actually take a dump. They have been playing far too well for far too long. Without going on any bad run. I would love them to take a couple of matches lost in a row. Certainly wouldn't hurt.
They need to poo the bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. So big ones behind us now are obviously Birmingham City are on form. Southampton are coming into form. If they can keep pushing, they'll be behind us very shortly as well. So now what have we got coming up in fixtures? Let's have a look. So next up is Portsmouth. We have that on Tuesday. Then the following Saturday, we have Charlton, and that's an away match. So will I put it out there that there is a good opportunity to take the next 2 matches?
There is. There is.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this is a little run here where, you know, we could be pulling a couple of points if we do well. We really need to. If we want to be up there, we need to start pulling some points when we get the opportunity. So Portsmouth at home and then followed by Charlton away. Now, we have done well against Charlton for the last 2 seasons, this season and last season. So we can hopefully take them away in that match. They're a little hit and miss.
I will never
They're
forget
dangerous
them
at times.
I will never forget that away match. I will
Yeah.
never forget that away match that they got a penalty for.
Last season.
They screwed us over with that.
That's the one I was at. I was at that one.
You was there.
I was at that match, yeah.
I gotta tell you, the more I look at the schedule, our schedule compared to Chelsea's, I'm liking us against Chelsea too, because they have a really, really busy schedule. Coming up to the FA Cup match, and then they have the Champions League match right after that. So it behooves them to not go strong. And we probably could go strong. Oh, then again,
we have to.
after that.
We have to. Look,
But yeah,
now if we pull off the next two matches, then we are going in to face Chelsea with 3 wins in a row, which would be fantastic, obviously. Our Watford match has been postponed because we're playing Chelsea. As you said, they have a load of matches that are really important to them around that. So they should be resting at least some of their players. But they are going particularly strong. They went pretty strong in their last one. So we can hope they rest a couple. But that is still going to be a big, big match.
but aren't like the next couple of matches like determinative of their championship league status?
Kind of, almost, yeah. Could be. They're that close to it. It's really important for them. Yeah.
Right.
They're currently 4th in the table because they just drew with Burnley.
Yeah. Okay. Now, following that, go on.
So I was going to say is like I've been listening to some of the Chelsea people out there. They're like, it's just another easy layup for them. That's what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
In their things like the big channels and all this stuff and all on X, all on things. Oh, it's just going to be like, they're going to roll over for us. That's what they're thinking. Yeah. I really just want to give them a bruising. I do, just to prove a point.
Yeah. We're so deep now. We're going to play a really strong team. Maximum, we might take out 1 or 2 players max to have on the bench and to come on late. But okay, so following along then now, here's our big opportunity to push points. So we said Portsmouth and Charlton are 2 matches we can target for wins. Following then the FA Cup, whether we win or lose, we've got Hull next and we're at home. So that is a big one. Obviously, they're right in front of us. And that could certainly be our opportunity to push either ahead of them or push away from them if we already are ahead with the next 2 wins potentially. And then that is followed by another home match with Swansea, who we need to give a kick into after they beat us the last time. Then away to Sheffield United. Sheffield United are a good team, but they're very hit and miss. So that's an opportunity to potentially win that one as well. And then things will start getting a bit tougher. Yeah. Then we get into the rough end of it. We've got West Brom away, Southampton at home, Birmingham away, Stoke at home, Oxford away, Coventry away, Middlesbrough at home. So that end, those final 7-ish matches. And of course, we'll have to replay the other match that we cancelled as well at some point in there. But this I'm absolutely putting out there is our moment to get points and push ahead. We need to have a little bit of a buffer after the next 4 or 5 matches, because we are going to go into a string of really tough matches. Now, we just did it tonight. We are good at stepping up to the challenge, so it might suit us to have all these big matches at the end of the season. But we need to do some damage now in the near future while we have the opportunity.
I mean, Portsmouth, Charlton and Hull are going to be the big ones where we can really do some damage and get about 9 points out of that. And that could move us all the way up to 4th. It could
4th potentially, yeah.
And in a really miraculous way, maybe 3rd, but that's really miraculous.
Yeah, but I'm obviously it's best to jump the positions, but I'm less worried about what position we're in and more concerned with how many points we have on 7th place. So I would be quite comfortable in 5th if we had opened up a gap to 7th. You know, if we were 6 or 7 points ahead because we had moved and they had all slipped back, that would be fantastic. The likelihood of that happening, probably a bit too much to ask. Might happen for, as we said, the next 4 or 5 matches, but after that we're going to have a tough time and might slowly.
This league is insane.
It is insane. Absolutely, we saw the results at the end.
I mean, Coventry had what a 10-point lead at one time, and
Yeah.
and they pissed that away. That's ridiculous. Like they're they had to beat Middlesbrough to get back on top. So that's insane.
Yeah, and I absolutely do not put it past Coventry to go on a losing streak, and put themselves in a really dangerous spot. Absolutely, I can see that happening.
They already proved that they can go on a losing streak.
But they were so far ahead. Yeah, they did. They did. But they were so far ahead that it saved them. They turned it around kind of at the moment now. So
let's hope it happens again.
Let's hope it happens again. So on that point, just while we mentioned it, who would you like to end up playing in the playoffs? Because there's 3 teams. We have Coventry and Middlesbrough and Ipswich, and it's likely 2 out of those 3 are going to be in the top 2. So who would you like left over in the playoffs?
Who would I like? Hold on. Let me check. Let me check the table again.
Coventry, Middlesbrough, or Ipswich?
Would we have a chance to play Birmingham?
Okay, you're not focusing on my question. Out of those 3.
Out of
so
those 3.
which 2 are getting automatics, and which third one do you want to end up in playoffs?
Okay, can I tell you something? Ipswich.
What?
Because we made Ipswich our rhymes with Ipswich this year.
So you want to play them potentially another 2 times?
Yeah, I think that we've gotten in their head, and I think we know how to play them. We know how to beat them. So
okay,
and again, we also did beat Coventry. So
Habs?
Middlesbrough.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why Middlesbrough?
They're particularly vulnerable in the back.
Okay.
That's the main reason why. I think because they have this kind of relation style they picked up from the manager they brought in, and they like to attack on. They send all their bodies on one side to create a
heavy
overload. A heavy overload. They do a heavy overload. And when they went up against Coventry, one of the things they did is they just exploited the space every time. They just kept exploiting the space on one of the sides. They did every time, and that's how they beat them. They did, and whenever they try to go on the attack, which they're very good at Middlesbrough right now, they what ended up happening was Coventry easily was able to get on the counter because they were playing a lot of counter-attacking football at some point in the second half. But one thing I noticed is that they can be easily stretched. They can be. So if you go up against them, you can stretch their back line very, very easily. And they also leave so much space to be able to attack on either side of the vector, depending on where they're going to put the overloads on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to answer my own question here. I want Coventry, actually, if I could simply choose. Because in order for them to end up in third place, they need to fall apart, kind of, to actually slide both positions. And I think if it happens, they would fall apart. So I think Coventry are potentially the weakest, actually. And I'm not overly impressed with their play. They have moments of fantastic play against teams, of course. But it's weird when I watch them. I'm not overly impressed. I like Middlesbrough, to be honest. I think they're really tough.
They are. Middlesbrough is really tough, but they're easily exploitable. They are. The thing is that the thing is, just let Lampard take the league and let him go off and have his fun in the Premier League. I could care less.
Yeah.
Of him getting the automatic spot in first place. Let him do it. Let him get his little trophy, and let him have his fun and say, "Yeah, I'm a Premier League manager. I've earned it." But with Coventry, at least they can stick to the very basics. They always go back to basics. They know how to do everything that's right. Middlesbrough, for me, they look like they can be easily exploited. They're very strong. They are. They're very strong to go up against, but they just have easy exploits. They do. That you can get to them.
To be fair, Wrexham's play of history is not stellar. So
We haven't been in the playoffs in a long time either. Come on.
That's true.
That's
The thing is, though, we drew with Middlesbrough, right? If I remember.
yeah.
So very easily. I mean, they had someone else at the time.
It was early. It was early doors, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the style wasn't so different. But the thing
Yeah.
is, though, our style is much more different now. We're far more aggressive as a squad.
Mhm.
So our team is
Yeah.
far more aggressive, and we'll take you man to man. We will. And if you try and play a game that that you think you can play, we will come back at you, and we'll make your day as painful as possible.
One thing I really do like is our attacking style when we use it aggressively. Is a perfect style for playoffs. You know, you have to win the match. You have to score goals. So the idea of us taking someone out in a playoff 4-2 or 3-1 or 3-2, you know, we can do that with our style. And we've seen it from cup matches, how we can stand up and fight even when goals come in. We don't tend to fall apart when goals go in. And we didn't do it today either. That didn't happen with Sheffield United either, when we were in that situation as well. So I think our team is nicely built for playoffs, and we have a good shot if we get there. Of course, we have to get there first. But just trying to be nice and positive today, seeing as we got our 3 points against a tough team.
I got to tell you, I really like that point, Paddy. I think that's a very, very wise observation, that we are not, like, even when other teams are scoring us, we're not falling apart. That we're standing strong, and we're continuing to move forward. And you know, I mean, how many comeback wins have we had? 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. That's a very
And the
wise
monster
observation.
comeback was QPR, wasn't it? 2 goals in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't give up. I think our team at the moment is looking like a solid playoff team. The style, the players, the attitude, the focus. And if we get there, if we get into the playoffs, like, imagine the positivity after going back to back to back.
Yeah, and going back to that earlier comment, I think that right there, that whole never give up attitude, I think that's where the Kool-Aid has been drunk. So
And there's one important thing. We're getting faster.
Yes, we are.
yes, we are. Whatever they're doing for conditioning, keep doing it. Because Jesus, I'm telling you,
It's
Moore
based
was
on patterns. That's what it is.
It's based on patterns and understanding where everyone's going to be. They are looking around less. They know where players are, and they're passing almost immediately.
And that's that whole thing I was telling you about, that I was talking about earlier, is that whatever it is that they developed during that festive period of, like, understanding the dynamics, understanding where each other is and stuff. Kabore didn't get that. It's like that. It's like that nurturing thing that babies develop, early on in life, and they just Kabore didn't get that.
I
Say
said that
again?
as well. I said that as well, Esteban, where he missed that big part of that period of where we just developed this very attacking style all of a sudden. Once McLean got that 3-match ban, and then we just started going on the attack by putting Thomason on, and we started using our right more as well. I mean, our left is our main vector attack, and it's very difficult to deal with us on the left.
Yeah, it turns out Maka getting suspended was the Christmas miracle. That was probably the best thing that happened the entire season, because that was the catalyst for all of what we're seeing now. So, hey, for what it's worth, thank you, Maka, for your service.
Look, he is a forever legend at Wrexham.
Absolutely,
Okay?
absolutely. He is.
I will have no McLean slander on here.
I'm not slandering him.
He's
I'm
legitimate.
grateful. I'm grateful for his aggressiveness that he got suspended, because honestly, that what I'm trying to say is that mistake forced the rest of the team to step up. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's more so that Parky has to change.
It forced Thomason to step up and to take a position that he was not very comfortable with, right? And to like really man up and take the reins, because he knew he had to do it for at least 3 games. And look at him now, right? Look at him now. He's thriving in that position. So
I think it's more so on Parky, really, because he wanted to change up the style on how to play. I mean, he had to be forced into a situation because we were basically waiting until the Christmas period was over and we get into the January transfer window so that we can find a replacement left wing back.
No,
we put Thomason there.
I agree 100% with that. I think that Parky has his instinct has been to stay conservative, and he has been forced into more liberal positions throughout the season, and he's realized, oh, I do have the manpower to continue to let my guys play this way, right? And I think that the whatever has happened that has forced Parky to make those decisions have been really, really good things, because he's begun to believe. Kind of going back to that comment earlier, he's the one that's begun to believe in that he has the right guys. So anyway, that's my thought.
That's a funny comment to say there. Just saw a match reaction thread on the Ipswich forum titled "Phil Parkinson, football genius."
Okay, right. When I saw that, I actually decided to pull up an Ipswich forum, and it might not be the same one, right? But have a look at this. This is quite funny. This is a new thread over on Ipswich forum. It's time. I'm sorry. He's finished here. Too many mistakes. Dreadful transfer windows. Obsession with wingers. McKenna out. We said this the other day, that why is it always after teams play us and get a bad result, everybody starts shouting for their managers to get sacked? Now, it is downvoted minus 61, so not a lot of people seem to agree with him, but I just thought that was quite funny. Right, guys, we have another late guest coming in to join us. So, Brian, welcome. Oh,
Hello.
Try again.
What's
Hello,
up, Brian?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, good result today. Obviously, hopefully we can. We've been up high before. Let's hope we can sustain. We're not crying next week after a late conceding draw against Portsmouth. But I did want to. You guys have covered a lot of good stuff. I did want to ask about the back three, and really surprised that he didn't. Second game in a row where he had two. Well, no, all 3 of his men were on yellow. Yeah, and he did not make the move. Has he lost confidence in Scar? I know he brought Viner in, but he brought him in as a midfielder for windouts. I didn't mind the move, but it didn't help with the 3 on the yellow cards, though. So he's very hesitant to pull one in the game. He has before, and then he seemed like he had so much confidence in Scar, but that seems to have evaporated, and I don't know why. He certainly hasn't made any comments in any of his interviews or anything about that. But should he be willing to replace a center back mid-game?
He should, and he has in the past. But I do think Scar having to go into the middle just upsets things a little bit. And I don't personally think Scar is good enough. So the problem is now, I think Viner is going to be needed in the middle with defensive duties, defensive mid, which means he's not necessarily going to be available now in order to cover Max if anybody wants to take Max out. So we don't have defensive cover really. We have Brunt coming back, who wasn't on the bench today, and we have Scar. That's it. That's our season. So is Parky just going to let it ride with the three we have? He might. He might have to. Is Brunt good enough to force his way back into the team? Well, maybe on the left, but we got Doyle there. Doyle has had his moments going out of position, but he is fantastic in the attack. He scored again today. Is Brunty good enough to take over from Max on the right? People have suggested it, but nobody knows. We haven't seen him play out there enough. So it's a tough one. It really is. That's my take on it. What do you guys think?
I think he's just saving him for rotation.
He's
I
not
don't think it's that
rotating.
complicated.
There is no rotation.
There is no rotation. Yeah.
No, you don't think so?
No, not Matt. There isn't. No, I don't think Scar enough is good enough to go into a rotation. I think that's been decided. I think Scar is an injury cover scenario or a late replacement if absolutely needed.
He has in the past gone to 4 in the back late in games, but
Yes.
not in a while, not in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bringing Viner in is a shade of that, but of course he's also replacing a midfielder who's coming off too.
Here's a good question now, actually, considering a potential Sheaf injury. Who are you playing for your defensive mids in the next match? Tabs, do you want to go for that? Who are your two defensive mids?
That's going to be hard. You're going to have to put Dobson in there at some point, but I'd have to put Viner in. I would put Viner in just because we haven't tested him, and with O'Brien.
Yeah, that mine would be between the three of Viner, Dobson, and O'Brien. I would be rotating them in some fashion between the three of them and figuring out what works.
It's just getting annoyingly thinner. We just had two of our.
It is thin.
We had our midfield generals basically just taken out.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. It is.
And
I really hope Ben is okay.
Yeah, and here is the truth of it in the championship is a lot of teams that miss out on the playoffs miss out because of injury. They lose too many players and they don't have enough cover and they fall off with their points.
What a brutal league.
It's always been the case of the championship. Depth. It's always been the case of the championship. Depth is everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Sorry, Brian, I cut you off there. Hang on. Go ahead.
It feels like we're racing against time. Can we play? Let's assume we're going to play 3 games in the playoffs. Will these back 3 make it 16 more games without going down injured? And don't forget, Sunderland had a center back go down in the beginning of the playoff final last season too. I think it was even their captain. So how precarious is this situation?
It is. It is precarious. The only thing is we do have a couple of players that can rotate. And we may just have to fill them in wherever we need them, like Viner. If we had one of our defenders go down, he may have to move back into it. And we may then have to just say, okay, well, it's O'Brien and Dobson. That's it. We've no other options. So we may just have to do that and then see out the last 10 or 15 minutes. And guys, you got to survive. This is the end of the season. And I don't know if you heard it there, just as you got cut off when you were trying to come back in. I mentioned that, in my opinion, a lot of teams that ultimately end up missing out on playoffs at the end of the season often do so because they have too many injuries and they fall off the pace because they don't have enough cover. It can be tough and it can be brutal at the end of the season.
So we have that empty roster spot.
We do at the moment, yeah, absolutely. So that's an interesting one. And answer me this, Brian. Who would you put in for the 2 defensive mid roles in the next match?
Are you asking me?
Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Were there any post-game comments about Sheaf's status?
Not that I've heard. Let's assume he's out. Next match,
Definitely
Tuesday.
O'Brien. I mean, I think I prefer O'Brien in any case.
Okay.
And then Dobson. And I guess you use Viner and Rathbone as cover.
Okay.
Well, I like that.
Yeah. I really like
I
Dobson
don't know
coming
what
on a
other
little bit
option you
later.
have. Because Thomason is I think a lock at this point for wingback.
For the
So
wing,
you can't mess with them.
Injury cover. Ain't no option.
I really like the way that Thomas has stepped up, though. I really do.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's it seems like we got a piece of Italian crystal there with Cacace. So
Looks good, but we need him to be able to play.
Very fragile.
Okay. Right. Kelly here. Yes, injuries could be Wrexham's downfall, but it could be Hull's, Millwall's, Derby's too. We aren't the only team at risk. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm not trying to be overly negative on this, but that's just the way of it. Is how can you handle your injuries, whatever you get, and how unlucky are you as to are they a crucial component? Because you get a double injury to the same spot and it will massively hurt all championship teams coming in at the end, or it can do, taking out 2 people in the same position, back-to-back injuries or whatever can really hurt it. But this is the same for everybody, and it's our first season. We can only have so much depth.
You know what would help with our injury situation a little bit is going weak against Chelsea. Playing front and playing star and trying to steal some time. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there.
Do you know what? It's not a bad thing to put out there. It's not. But I think there's too many matches left in the league to, at this stage, turn around and say, no, we're not doing it. We're going weak. I know it's a good point, and it's always a consideration. I don't think they will. It's still a cup. It's still history. But financially and everything else, I would understand if they turned around and said, no, we have too many injuries now at the moment. If Sheaf is down, if James is down, then we can't risk it. End off, we can't risk it. I could understand it. I wouldn't like it, but I could understand them making that call.
Well, I can imagine Parky's not going to make that call. He's going to go strong.
Yeah, but I think he implied he was told to go strong as well. So, sorry, Brian, go on.
How do we even find out if Brian fit? Because regardless of how he looks on the practice pitch, we don't know until he plays in a game. And where does Parky take the risk to play him in a game to find out what we even have?
Well, that's an interesting one because, well, as it is right now, I wouldn't play him. If it's my call, I wouldn't, because he's covering Doyle's position. So I don't think you take Doyle out for Brunt in order to try him again. And unless he is actively in training for Max's position, in which case Parky wants to replace Max with him, then I don't see him getting back in. I see him waiting his turn for an injury, another injury. Esteban, what do you think? Do you agree with that? Oh. Brunt?
I'm sorry, I lost it.
Okay, Brunty.
I
What,
had
just,
I had an ADHD moment. What
Okay.
was the question?
Brunty. He's should be back from injury now. We were told he's ready for selection. How do you see him getting back into the team? Will he get back in currently?
I think the next couple of matches are the opportunity for him to kind of prove himself, because we're we can go a little bit weaker. So I think the next couple of matches he has an opportunity to step in and see what see what he's got, see if he's ready.
So who will Parky rest for him, or are you saying off the bench?
Maybe off the bench at first, and then if he does well, then he can start the next one.
Okay, but starting the next one instead of who?
Who does he come in for? Who would he come in for?
Usually it should be Doyle, because Doyle took his position away from Brunty, basically. Brunty injured, and then he was in it and kept playing.
Doyle's been doing really well, but I think he could use a rest and maybe have him ready for the cup match. So that's what I'm thinking.
He just scored.
Yeah, but you want your guys to be rested. You want your guys to be ready.
Well done, you scored. Here, take a seat. You'd be pissed, surely.
Yeah, sure, he'd be pissed, but I don't know. I think a lot of these guys they want to get, how can I say, they want to go, they want to prove themselves, but they're not Supermen. They're I hear what Kelly's saying. I see that comment there. Doyle perhaps is because he's young and he's full of that good stuff. He can continue to go, but I think that he should take a moment to just kind of like regroup and rest, so that he could be ready for the big games. So
I don't see Parky doing it, but here's a comment from Free Pugs. If we got in an injury pinch, we could also have Brunt play for Doyle and Doyle move up to left wing back and Thomason back in the middle. We could, but again, that's serious injury. We're chancing Doyle in a position that he hasn't played in. So yeah. And Kelly as well. Can't Brunt play on the right? Potentially, yes, he has played on the right, but Parky has never really played him over Max. So could he? Yes. Would Parky do it is the question. Is he currently in training on the training pitch to cover that position? No idea. He could be on the opposite team during training in Max's position. We don't know. But up to now, he has barely played on the right-hand side. But that was basically last season. So
to be fair, Paddy, positioning and tactics are not where I know much of the game. So,
yeah, that's fine.
It's kind of that's my limit of my understanding and knowledge. So
yeah, it's just like here's Brunt saying Pug saying Brunt can play both sides. Well, yeah, you can plug any player into almost anywhere and he can play there. But the point is really how good they are. He's completely untested on the right-hand side. So with that being the case, it's a massive danger to do it unless he has been actively in training for it. Now, maybe he has. Maybe Doyle has been practicing the left wing back, just in case of injury. We don't know what they're doing in training. It's all speculation. Kelly, come on, guys. Who's first with the save max? Who's going to get in the chat with the first save max? I love Max, but I would give Brunt a chance, at least one game.
I agree with that. After today, put Max on the bench.
It's not the worst call in the world. It's not. It's not. No one should be undroppable.
Max has been making a couple of Max has made a couple of mistakes last match and this match, so I think it's time for him to sit for a minute.
Yeah, and it's also one of these. Be careful what you wish for. Put Brunt out on the right hand side. He has an absolute horrendous match, and we lose to Portsmouth. So look, we saw what Thomason.
I'm a save Max guy, but
I know. But now, don't forget what we saw Thomason do when he went into defense.
good point.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that has been 90 minutes of extra time. So I think we will cut it off there, guys. Nobody has done it, so I'm going to do it on this bombshell. #SaveMax. We are going to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for calling in. This was fun. I really enjoyed that match. And I'm going to go back and watch it again this weekend because it was that much fun. This time without the nerves because I know what's going to happen. And we will see you on Tuesday for the next one.
Can't wait to show that to my wife.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
See you in a bit, guys.